When Biomutant was first teased in 2017, I was 100% down to play it. A Ratchet and Clank type of action platformer starring an adorable animal set in an apocalyptic zone like Fallout? Yes, please! After several delays, the game is now out, and let's just say it did not, sadly, meet my expectations. To begin, you get to create your little critter from 6 species along with choosing a class out of 5. It's a sliding scale, so you can't get incredibly in-depth with your customization, but I didn't have a problem with that. The story follows your pursuit of revenge against a fellow mutated anthropomorphic animal for destroying your home. There is also a warring faction within the game as the secondary core to the adventure, but here's the big problem with the narrative. It's told through a narrator, which would be cute for a shorter game, but this is an open world RPG with NPCs to talk to. When you do talk to them, the narrator interrupts and translates what they are trying to communicate to you. It's such a weird, unnecessary choice for a game like this, and it made me barely want to pay attention to what was going on. I honestly think even with the rest of my gripes added up, including the game crashing on me, which it did on my PS5 about once every 25 minutes, the story decision outweighs all of those bugs as the worst thing I hate about this game. So let's get to the actual game itself. So after a brief tutorial, the game opens up completely. You could streamline the story, but if you did, you'd be outmatched rather quickly because there are levels to zones. If you don't explore or do side quests, you'll get your butt kicked on any difficulty setting. Now, you're armed with melee weapons along with guns and magical powers from mutations in your body to what is called psi powers, allowing you to essentially perform magic such as create walls of fire when you run. The variety in powers and weapons is pretty inventive. The problem is the action does not feel tight, meaning any combat scenario can feel like you're just flailing your arms in the hopes that it'll end in victory, which is due mostly to the lock-on system, which is not great. Another issue with the combat lies with the menus used to upgrade your character or equip them with gear. It's cumbersome to say the least. On top of that, I should also mention there is a dark and light system akin to Infamous, which is a series I specifically wanted to bring up because, like that game, you have powers that will be locked out in Biomutant depending on your choices. Okay, at this point, do I sound like a child breathlessly talking to an adult trying to desperately explain something as mundane as a rock they found as if it was the discovery of the century? If I do, that's on purpose because this game has too much going on with it to fully explain anything and or everything. It is trying to do too much when it should have simplified things instead of designing the game with the kitchen sink approach to its mechanics. Again, to be so clear, I wanted this game to be awesome, and there are cool things about it if you poke around its world. The story, bugs, messy combat, and overcomplicated design just make it hard to get into. There's something brilliant here. Like the apocalypse in which this game is set in though, the true beauty of Biomutant is buried beneath layers of grime, and perhaps one day the experience will be better, but unfortunately for now, it's just an average open world RPG. Did you like that video? If you did, please like, subscribe, and spread the good word of Reaction Examiner. If you want to read more of my stuff, you can find a plethora of my articles over at TheGamer and Game Rant. All of those links and more are in the show notes below. Thanks for watching!